welcome back to my channel. My name is Colleen and this is Lockerbie Stitches and this is Flosstube number 38, mid-Sunday afternoon, and I'm out in the garage. So it's officially our first garage edition. I actually tried to start filming this at about 10 o'clock this morning, and as I was setting up the camera, I heard this faint, what sounded like a kitten cry. So long story short, there's been a feral cat that's been around for quite a while, and about a month ago I said to my husband, that cat looks like it's pregnant. Well, I guess she was. So I was able to catch 3 of her kittens, and she has 2 more, but she stashed them under like the neighbors, this like little shed thing they have, and of course they're not home, and I don't know if they're really receptive to me like coming over to try and get them. So I caught 3 out of the 5, so I'll have to take them to animal control tomorrow. They're super duper cute. Of course, they're super scared, but my heart kind of breaks because I don't know what's going to happen to them, but I also can't afford to take on 3 cats because I already have 2 very expensive dogs, and we already have one. It used to be somebody else's cat that we kind of now just adopted, so but they're so cute. You get baby fever when you see them, but they're so scared, but I was able to handle them. But so we'll see if I can find some place to take them tomorrow and maybe get them some help or find them a new home or something. So that took up from about 10 o'clock to now, which is probably around like 3:30 or 4 o'clock. So, and hopefully I can try to get the other 2. Maybe tonight I'll sit outside and maybe she'll come out after dark, out from underneath that little shed or whatever. And then all I can do is maybe try to ask the neighbors if I can try to get them. And then she needs to be TNR'd and fixed. So, and I don't mind taking care of her as like an outdoor cat, but yeah, we need to get her fixed. So anyways, back on track. So yes, out in the garage. Today I won't show you my total setup just because I only have half the garage cleaned, but I'll just kind of go over some things that I had on my tables, like some things that I had talked about in the last video. But yeah, so first I kind of made this table. It's like a super simple setup. All it is a 4x8 sheet of laminated plywood. So it has like that white shiny coating on it. And then I took another piece and cut it in half and made like a little tabletop back behind me on just 2 unfinished, they're basically like kitchen cabinets. You just get them at Lowe's, maybe like $60 a piece. And then I got the sheets of laminated plywood at Home Depot. So super simple. And then I just built some wood legs to kind of support the table, and put storage underneath for tools. Then I have like 3 of those 3-tiered rolling carts that have my paint and stuff like that on it. And then off to the side over here, this is a laser cutter, super budget friendly, but it works like a champ. For what I mostly just use it to cut out wood buttons, but works great. I don't even think this cost me $200. I think I got it off of Amazon. It's a Ken top. A little bit of a learning curve in figuring out the software, but if you're not like on my budget, and I don't have a use for right now, like a big one of those big kind of industrial lasers, a good option. And then I do have, though, my newest addition to my shop is a CNC router cutter, which does stuff like this. So I'm designing this frame, and I was trying to cut them out by hand, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So you'll see it like kind of cuts out the spot where your cross stitch sits in, and then the opening. It's a really cool machine. I'm super excited to experiment with all the things that I can do with other stuff and other ideas that I have. But so it's just one of those things to be able to sit down and do it. So, but yeah, so I'm excited that I have that. And then this is just like another shape. Instead of drilling out like all these little holes by hand, now I can just put the wood in the machine and tell it what to do. And it's not really that simple, but but in the end, that is all you do, is you program the plot that you want and tell it what to do, and it's spot on. When you give it the measurements and it will create things dead center. Just really cool. So yeah, so I'll kind of go over some stuff. So last video I talked about like every Friday so I brought out this little jar, so everybody knows I love Noah's Ark. So I brought out one of my Noah's Ark cookie jars that I'm not utilizing, and inside of it I filled it with, on each one of these papers is like the name of the cross stitch and the designer that designed it from these 2 buckets. So I filled 2 buckets. So here's one, and then there's another one right over there that's just like it. So I think there's about 60 cross stitches in here, and some are pinned out already, like this one from Amy Brukin, Crazy Dog Lady, that I finished recently. And then some aren't, like this one's from Lindy Stitches, Bury Me, that I really want to get that framed too. But so all stages and stuff, but about 60 projects. So my plan is every Friday night to draw something out of there, and then I have till the next Flosstube to get it framed up. But before I can really do that, I didn't realize until I started cleaning up how much stuff I have out here that's in different stages and various stages of finishing. So I should just go ahead and get that stuff done before I go into this. So this will kind of help me keep my feet to the fire to get this stuff done. And oh, I also need to apologize. I am so sweaty. So after wrangling cats for 5 hours, I have a fan going out here, but I had to shut it off because it's just too much extra noise. So I figured I don't want to get any more thumbs down than I already do. But I did buy a portable air conditioning unit, and not knowing anything about air conditioning units, that they have to have somewhere they need to vent makes sense. So my only options at this point would be to cut a hole in the garage door to vent it, which is fine. This is probably going to be our forever house, but the next person might not be so keen that there's a hole in the garage door. Or either vent it like up through the ceiling and out like the roof line. Or I did watch a YouTube video where a guy cut a hole in the drywall like next to the garage door, but then he had to like knock out some bricks in the front, and I figured that is way above my pay grade. So unless I hire somebody to do that, or like I said, the easiest option would be to cut a hole in the garage door. So we'll see. But for now, it's pretty hot out here. It's Texas. It's probably 90 today. It was supposed to rain, but of course it didn't. So, but anyways, so yeah, I'll just kind of show you some things that are on my table right now. So these are some things that I found as I was cleaning up. This was from Teresa Koga. I framed this probably a year ago or so, and I did just like a simple, like it's a board cutout with a little spot, like a little wood square for the frame, and then I did like a flower cutout that mimics the flower that's in the cross stitch. So that was in the Primitive Needle and Punch Needle magazine, Primitive Punch Needle magazine, and maybe from about a year ago or so. And then this was out of a leaflet. This was kind of the matching piece to it. It was the Uncle Sam. So these are the 3 different pieces. I'll just show you it all taken apart. So I just cut like a backing board, and then this is just a square piece of wood. So there's no rabbet. So once I glue it down to this board, this will just sit inside. And then like on this one, just in case it's not snug enough, I just use a piece of rickrack. So that kind of keeps it tight in there so it doesn't fall out. Or you could probably put some double-sided sticky tape or glue it in. I don't really like to glue if I don't have to, like the cross stitch, but honestly, once I'm gone, what do I care really? But so this one I did, this is just the cutout. I haven't painted it yet. So I did a flower that, again, I was gonna do something different, but I decided to just go with the flowers from each one of the cross stitch to kind of make it. So once I get that all painted, it'll kind of look like the other one. I still might do something on the back. I was gonna stencil it, but then I thought it might be neat to find some sort of like Americana quote or political quote from somebody famous to put on the back. So I might do that, like stencil some words just to kind of, that way you could display it like hanging up or on an easel. So the back's done. And then, keeping on Teresa Koga, these were from the Jingle Ball from 2 years ago. And I literally stitched these within a week of getting the patterns because I was so excited about them. But it was the Flying Santas, and there's all 3. And they're on perforated paper. And this is probably the first time in a long time that I really paid attention to the back. And my back is almost as neat as the front. I was like so proud of that. Almost like I don't want to glue them down because I don't want to. They look so nice. But I'm going to do similar to how she had them finished. So I cut out shapes. These are the unfinished ones. that go around. This one's just painted brown, but I don't think it shows up good enough. So I think I'll have to either paint it some other color, like a dark green or black too. But my idea is I'm going to cut out, using my CNC router, cut out 3 houses. So I'm going to do a church, a barn, and a house, and have them like either by the leg, like attached to the top of the roof or the chimney of the house or whatever, but have the house be hollow so you can put a tea light in it. So that's what I'm going to do with these. So I've had the idea for a while, but they've just sat here, sadly. So I need to get working on that. So that's going to be the next thing, is to plot out, like use paper first to design the house, and then I can get the measurements to like decide like where I want windows versus trying to like hand cut them out. That was going to be terrible. So yeah, so those are both from Teresa Kogut. And then from the last Flosstube, I did frame Liberty U from Shepherd's Bush. And I just used, this is just a little antique frame that I found, I think like at a thrift shop or like yard sale, something like that. But it's really cute, just blue, and it's obviously it's old looking, but it kind of has like a gold lip on the inside. And what's kind of cool about this, so it was a larger frame. So these are actually the leftover pieces from the original frame. And there's probably enough that I can make another small frame from something else. So probably for $10, I'll be able to get 2 frames. They're small, but still, it's really cute. Like I said, it's a handy thing to be able to cut down frames and salvage frames from other things. And next time I do a Flosstube, I have a whole wall over there of frames that I just couldn't pass up because it was just such a good bargain. So, yeah. But all waiting for something to go into it. But like I said, sometimes when you get even Hobby Lobby, they'll have frames marked down to like $5, and they're huge frames. So some of those I can get 2 frames out of. So or 1 frame like it is, and then you can always paint the other one, however you want to do it. But it's economical versus custom framing. It's just a cheaper choice. And then I'll show, so other things that next time I do a Flosstube, I'll show. Other things that I do is, and well, obviously a lot of people do, is use found objects to put cross stitches in. So this is a good example. This I got at a yard sale or an antique shop. I think I had a yard sale. It had a chalkboard in it that said like today's special or something. So I just knocked the chalkboard out of it, and then I'll either add, like carve something like a bird on top or something, whatever I decide to put in it. But I was like, it was like $2. I'm like, yeah, I have to have that. Well, I have a whole bucket of stuff over there that's the same like that. Or like this little frame came from Ollie's. It's like a little whitewashed. It's kind of, it kind of slants, but it was like $1. And I'm like, oh, throw that in the pile. The same thing. This came from Ollie's. It's just like a little one of those shadow box, and I could probably knock whatever's in the middle out here and either frame directly, or knowing that my cross stitch is probably going to be smaller. And what I picked out was, this is from Hands On Design. It was from 2 Jingle Balls ago, one of their patterns. Like it fits kind of perfect in there, or I can put some sort of border. But like it's kind of cute to have a little shadow box. So sometimes I've done this where I've drilled little holes and then put bottle brush Christmas trees in there. That looks really cute. I'll see how I want to finish it, but that way you can kind of make it a shadow box and like add things in front of the cross stitch. So other fun shop, I think that was $1 too on clearance. There was like a whole bunch of pile of stuff. Same thing. This was $2. So this one I put, this is from Stitchy Kitty, and it was like Woodland Critters. It came out of a magazine long time ago. It's been finished for a long time, but it didn't exactly, it's kind of the same thing as the Uncle Sam. It was just the cross stitches pushed down in there in that little wood frame. So I used a piece of jute to sandwich it to like make sure it stays tight. So I think this one I'll probably cut out some like little trees to kind of go on one side, or maybe like it kind of has that like lodge camping kind of feel. So I'll come up with something to put on that. So there's that one. And then here's another great frame. So back on the found frames, this came from a little antique shop over in a little town called, where did I get this one from? I'm blanking, but little antique shop a couple towns over. But up close, this is so cool. It's like copper, and then it kind of goes from brown to white, but it has little knots and leaves on it. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, Witchy Stitcher. Like, I have to put something from her in this. It just fits those like little creatures or something. I need to find a pattern that'll fit in this. So there was a couple spots that I had to fix the frame, so I need to touch it up with paint a little bit. But staying with Witchy Stitcher, here's a couple that as I was cleaning up. So I originally stitched these two cross stitches. They're starting to get dirty. It was Inspector Toadski and Dilio Shade. And I originally just bought a couple wood oval frames. This one was white and a brown because I couldn't find the same color. So I painted them and then antiqued them a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. Like, it was like, it doesn't look bad. I'm like, I could add something to it. But then I got online and I found these. They were originally white plastic frames, and I made the mistake. I painted them with chalk paint and it's starting to flake off. So I think I'm gonna have to scrub these with like a magic eraser and maybe go get some of the paint that you paint on plastic, because I think if I just spray it again with the chalk paint, it's just gonna flake off again. But I really like how this looks. It kind of gives it this super, oh geez, sorry. This really super Halloween-y look feel to it. Let's see if I can hold it up. But it's just totally what I was going for. And then I found these cute little wood mushrooms, and then in each one of the cross stitch she has those little mushrooms. So I'll probably paint some of those to kind of add to the frame. And then also these super cute little bones that I got at the dollar store. So kind of like add those in there to kind of add to it. So those came out perfect. So I've had these stitched forever too, but so have to get those done before Halloween. Good luck, right? So, and then from last time, I did finish. I had a finish from, this is Liberty from Weeks Dye Works and Sam Sarah. And I did link on my Instagram, it's a free pattern. So I did put the link on the post of that. I might add a button or two to it, I'm not sure, but I think I'm gonna frame this. I'm gonna make like a little fence. So almost like it's like the little bunting on the fence. So that's the idea for that one. And then as I was digging through the pile, I found two more patriotic cross stitches that need to be finished. This one is from Fancy That. Originally it was a wall hanging, but I didn't want the wall hanging anymore. But then as I started to take it apart, I had to put it on mounting board because it's so close to the edge. I don't even have enough room to add some like pull fabric. So mounting board's fine, I'm okay with it. So I'm gonna do like a rustic kind of frame for that one. And then I did find this one. This was from Mosey and Me. This one somebody actually gave me. They had started it, so it was a bit started, but they forgot to start higher up on the fabric, so the whole band sampler wasn't gonna fit. So I took it. So it's probably a little bit different from the pattern because I didn't do all of the bands. So I just did as much that would fit in, kind of improvised. So that's a cute little one to add to my Mosey and Me collection. And then I still have all the other ones I showed in the last video still need to be framed. So yeah, my weekend got a little bit sidetracked with kittens, wild kittens and other kittens and just other stuff. So I didn't get as much done this weekend as I really wanted to. So hopefully this next week I'll get back on track, but I will be going to Michigan this week. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going home. My grandma turned 100 years old in March. So we had a little, I did fly home and we had a little party for her, just at her house, nothing big. But she sadly passed away. So we're gonna have a memorial and interment for her this coming up weekend. So I'm gonna go home on, like, I'll be home Friday, just a quick trip, Friday through Monday. But It always goes by too fast, but I'm super excited to come to Michigan. So if anybody from Michigan wants me to bring them a kitten, let me know, because I probably still have 2 more to catch. I can bring you one. So they're super cute. But anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to pop on really quick and do a quick video from the garage. I'm super, like I said, hot and sweaty, but it's always worth it. So yeah, so I probably won't do a video next week then, and I'll try to do one when I get back from Michigan and have new tales to tell and new stuff to show. So until then, thanks for watching and happy stitching. Bye.